The words echoed in the white hospital corridor like a final sentence, heavy and cold. Doctors in crisp coats avoided eye contact. Machines hummed softly, as if even they knew hope had just been unplugged. On the narrow bed lay a 6-year-old girl named Anya, her thin legs still as porcelain, her eyes wide and confused. She didn't understand the words, only the silence that followed them. Her mother, Mira, stood frozen, hands trembling, while her world collapsed inch by inch. Beside her stood Raghav, a single father who had already lost too much to lose anything else. Anya's condition was rare, a complicated nerve disorder. Billionaire doctors, elite hospitals, experimental treatments. Raghav had tried them all. He sold his car, then his house, then everything that wasn't nailed down. Every doctor promised hope at first, then quietly stepped back when the scans came in. "I'm sorry," they all said, in different accents from different cities, with the same defeated tone. Mira wasn't Anya's biological mother. She was Raghav's second chance at love after his wife died during childbirth years ago. Mira had chosen them, chosen a man with a broken past and a child who needed more care than most. And now she stood there watching that child slip further away from a normal life. When the final doctor said, "We've done all we..." Mira's knees buckled. She slid down the wall and collapsed, sobbing so hard nurses rushed over, thinking she'd fainted. Raghav didn't cry. Not then. His face went still, as if something inside him hardened into resolve. He picked up Anya, light as a feather, and whispered, "We're going home." There was no anger in his voice, no despair, just quiet determination. Home was a small rented room on the edge of the city. No machines, no nurses, just love, patience, and a father who refused to accept limits written by others. Every morning before sunrise, Raghav woke up. He heated water, gently massaged Anya's legs the way he remembered one old physiotherapist showing him years ago. He counted each movement like prayer beads. 1, 2, 3. Anya winced sometimes, tears pooling in her eyes, but she never asked him to stop. "Does it hurt, Papa?" she asked once. "Yes," he answered honestly, "but only because your legs are waking up." Mira watched all of this in silence at first. After her collapse at the hospital, something inside her had broken too. She smiled for Anya, cooked, cleaned, helped where she could. But at night, she cried into her pillow, convinced she was watching a miracle die slowly. She believed doctors, she believed science, she believed reality. Raghav believed in effort. He read everything he could find: old rehabilitation journals, obscure case studies, handwritten notes from retired therapists. He couldn't afford new equipment, so he built things himself. A frame made from old pipes, a balance board carved from scrap wood. Every evening after work, exhausted and dusty, he came home and turned into a teacher, a coach, a cheerleader. Progress was invisible at first. Weeks passed, then months. Friends stopped visiting. Relatives stopped calling. People don't like to stay around when hope takes too long. Mira started suggesting they slow down, that maybe they were hurting Anya more than helping her. Raghav listened, nodded, but never stopped. Then one evening, something happened. Anya was standing in the frame, her hands gripping the bars, her legs trembling like leaves in a storm. Raghav was kneeling in front of her, eye level, smiling like this was the most normal thing in the world. "Just 1 second," he said. "That's all I want." Anya nodded, her teeth clenched. Raghav gently loosened his grip. For half a second, nothing changed. Then Anya swayed. Mira screamed his name, rushing forward. But before anyone could reach her, Anya's foot pressed down. Her knee locked, her body steadied. 1 second. Then she fell into Raghav's arms, laughing and crying at the same time. Mira stood there, frozen again, but this time, tears streamed down her face, not from pain, but from disbelief. She dropped to her knees, hands covering her mouth, sobbing the way people do when something impossible happens right in front of them. From that day on, everything changed. The progress was still slow, painful, non-linear. Some days Anya screamed and refused to try. Some days Raghav lost his temper and walked outside just to breathe. Some nights Mira sat beside him and said softly, What if this is all she ever gets? And every time, Raghav answered the same way. Then this will still be more than what they said was possible. A year later, Anya took her first unaided steps across the room. 3 shaky steps, then 4. Mira collapsed again, this time into laughter, hugging Raghav so tightly he could barely breathe. The girl who couldn't walk ran her fingers along the wall like it was a victory banner. Word spread. A local reporter came, then another. People called Raghav a hero. He